Brought to you by the Wicked and Remnant Koalition. For the 12 tribes scattered worldwide. Shalom. Really hit dark skin for the most high, yeah. Sing. Yahushua. Come on back there. Come on. I better get your moving tonight. This meeting is a struggle, don't fight. Loosen up your body's too tight. It's okay, it's alright. Here's a message from the 12 lost tribes. The funk will make a sad baby stop crying. And make fish without fish start frying. I know you like it once you hear them stop lying. I feel good the more your body just try. It's okay, it's alright. Yeah, it's alright. Oh. Yeah, it's shout out to the Most High. Yeah.
Shabbat, shalom, Shabbat, shalom, Shabbat, shalom, Shabbat, shalom to all of you, my heavenly Father's children, to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered. What? Oh, yes. The 12 tribes of Israel are the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They're the bloodline descendants that, according to the Holy Manuscript, in the last days would be ran out of the Holy Land and scattered into the four corners of the earth. When you read the Bible the way it's supposed to be read, after the last 400 years of Jacob's trouble, then Abba Yah would judge the nations that held us in captivity. He would then judge them by destroying them. Everybody who touched us touched the apple of his eye. Do you understand me? If you got that loud and clear, put a hallelujah 12 for the 12 tribes of Israel. Let me get some water. He said, I'm going to bring a nation from afar, swift as the eagle. They'll be ruthless, no regard for young or old. They will destroy, they will be, according to our Holy Bible, the worst of the heathen. And they would spoil us and become, they would become almost grotesquely rich, if that's even a word. Morehyosh just trying to get it. I'm trying to make it. They would become, their riches would damn near be obscene. Why? Because they did not earn their riches according to Torah. They became powerful and wealthy and rich according to the Bible because they had us. And everywhere we were scattered, it was us that made those places and those empires great. And they know it to this day. That's why they won't let you come together. They won't let us have our own country, our own land, our own empire, our own police department, our own Wall Street, our own anything. We try to even get our own land and tie it to one another. All of a sudden, here he comes. Excuse me. Yeah, I got a report. It's nothing big, but I heard 3 of you niggers trying to join your land together. Is that true? Wait, hold on, man. White boys do it all over. They call it gated communities. Yeah, but I'm just saying. I just want to know, is that true? Because according to boy, they'll stop that in a minute. Why? They know. Woo! They know. They know that we are Yah's chosen people. And the world also knows that our Elohim sit high, but he looks low. And what this heathen should have known, why you say this heathen should have known more, right? Because I told them. Just because you told them, who are you? Just a voice. So, but they can't say they ain't been told. That's for sure. From the White House to the Capitol to every major city in this nation and all over the world, they done looked at the moral rate. And if they didn't do it personally, they had somebody. Would you listen to one of his videos? Just to see what he's saying? He's saying that that the so-called blacks and the so-called slave trade, he's saying they the children of Israel, and they wake up to their true identity. What are we going to do about that? Shh, nothing. Just shh. Just let it. He just a small fish in a big pond. Leave him alone. Couldn't stir up no trouble. Shh. What y'all don't know is, look, all you world leaders and everybody's assigned to watch the Moray and everything else. Listen, I want to talk to you since I have your attention. Since you now have our attention. I have your attention, let me just put this out since we have your attention. What is happening today in the world is being orchestrated by our Elohim. And you can't stop it. Now take that, roll it up in a pipe, put it in a pipe, and smoke it if you would like. Because what you think I'm saying and what you think is coming out of me, the funny thing is, it ain't from read. I'm telling you what's in the Bible that you and your grandmama been carrying around your whole life. That's the problem that you have with the Moreh. You know when it comes to this right here, you no match. Not this. When it comes to lying and stealing and conniving, when it comes to being the king of killing and all that, look, you can have it. You won. You won that one, hands down. When you start talking about, what do you know about this? Nothing. What about this? You don't even know nothing about this military. Okay, you right. You don't know nothing about that. You right. You right. I can hear y'all talking about the Moreh right now. All over the world. Do he even know about astrophysics? No, not really. No, not really. Does he even know about the difference between a 10 megaton bomb and an atomic bomb and a nuclear bomb? No, not really. Not really. You got me. You got me. He don't know nothing about this chemistry and how we can make these diseases and we can make them. He don't know that, I bet. Okay, well. You got me again, heathen. When it comes to the king of killing, I'm no match for your military might at all. I have nothing to even say about the way you handle your wicked empire business all over the world. Yes, you're the king of killing. I'm no match. But let me tell you where you can't touch me. Let me tell you where you're going to have to bow down and get up out of here. Where's that? This. And I want the world to know something. I am not of the same type as these pig meat eating liars that in these last days are being exposed for their ignorance of the Bible. These so-called preachers and pastors and leaders were given one job. Read the Bible and feed the flock. Now, if y'all rolling with the Moreh and understand that, put a 100. Put a 100 in there already. Put 100 in the room. I said if you can see that. And they won't do that one job and want to get paid. You hire somebody to do one job, and the one job you give them, they don't do it and get mad because you don't want to pay them. They should not get paid. Now, I'm going to say something else. This ain't got nothing to do with the message today, but it does. I'm going to help my people all over the world. I don't have time. The time is running out. It's running out. So I'm going to say what I got to say. I want to talk to all of you so-called black comedians. I need to talk to you. I want to talk to the YouTube comedians. I want to talk to the on TV comedians and the stand-up all over the world. I want you to understand something. You better catch this. You know, like I know, our people are sottish. And you're taking advantage of them. Stop it! You are not qualified to talk spirituality to our people. You're not qualified to talk Bible to our people. You're not qualified to talk about YAH to our people. You're not qualified to talk about right living to our people. Stop it. You out of line. And the king about to come back, you're going to be caught. And you're going to be beat with many stripes. According to the Torah. Stop it. When it comes to this Bible, leave it alone. When it comes to Torah, leave it alone. When it comes to YAH and his people and his sheep, leave it alone. Go talk about something else. crack a joke about stubbing your toe, crack a joke about some hoe you was with and how you had to pay money and whatever. You can crack jokes all day long over there. But when it comes to this right here, leave it alone. You don't know what you're messing with. You don't understand eternity. You don't understand power. You don't understand creation. You don't understand our creator. You don't understand the covenant. You don't understand our king. Leave this Bible and our people alone in these last days because we're waking up to truth. You have no idea what you're messing with when it comes to this Bible. You're going to go to hell for that, and it's not worth it. Just go up there and tell a joke. You ain't funny anyway. You vulgar and nasty and stupid, and our people are childish, but you far from being actually funny. While I'm out here, let me put this out. While I'm out here, I heard a Negro say something the other day. Boy, he better be glad he only talking. Look, you know they talk bad, but watch this. Watch. He gonna talk about people, preachers, pastors, whatever. He out of line. See, I was a pastor. I could talk about pastors. But let me say something. He said, they make you, is what he said. They make you give him all your money or make you give him 10% of your income and they don't help nobody. So you should just keep your money. So I was thinking in the Bible, I said, why did he say that? Because I'm trying to figure out what is he doing? Because this Negro is getting dressed just like the preacher. This Negro walking on stages just like the preacher. This Negro is grabbing a microphone just like the preacher. This nigga is standing up, giving a sermon and a lecture just like the preacher. The difference is, nigga, you worse. Because if you call yourself having a message, you charge the people to get in. You charging $70, $100, $250, $1,000 to sit up front. Nigga, you worse than the preacher. 99% of the churches I know, even though they going to hell, the preacher ain't bold enough to say, you got to pay to come in the door. You got to pay an advance to get a seat. $1,000 can sit here. $500 can sit here. And what are you going to give them? Nothing but jokes. You're going to stand up there and tell lies and be vulgar and be all out of line and got nerve to charge the people to get in and then talk about a preacher or a pastor or a leader who is giving the word of YAH to his people free of charge and asking for a donation. Nigga, stop it. Stop it. Here we are in the last days. And YAH is raising up, according to his word, he's raising up shepherds and setting them apart. These ain't gonna be like them, them old weak pulpit pimps that's involved with fraternities and sororities and conventions and got somebody that's funding them and always doing backroom deals and all that, no, that's not who he's raising up in the last days. In the last days, he said, I'm going to raise up seers, pastors over my sheep. And what are they going to do? They're going to feed my people Torah. They're going to actually feed them the Torah so that they can grow. Why? Because there will be a famine. And the famine is not going to be of bread. The famine will not be of water. What is it going to be? It'll be a famine of hearing the word. And the reason that he put it in that form is so that people could see the value of the preacher, pastor, teacher, and in my case, seer, moray. They will see the value of Torah and support it. That's why. I guarantee you, if it's a famine of bread, watch the price of bread go up. If it's a famine of bread, watch your vegetable prices go through the roof. If it's a famine in the land, watch all the prices go through the roof. Even water becomes so valuable. People are willing to give it all. So what the Most High is saying, in the last days, the word of Yah, which is Torah, is going to be a famine, which makes then those that teach and preach Torah to us almost invaluable. You can't put a price on it. So then we're encouraged to do what? To support them. Why? Because Torah does not get support. You teaching the Torah the way it's supposed to be taught, it's not going to be supported by no convention, no association, no LLC, no businesses, nobody. You ain't going to get no certain communities to fund it. You know the alphabet boys, and I could go on and on. You already know. The Democrat, Republicans, independents, ain't nobody supporting the teaching of Torah. The white supremacist church and all that. No. Ain't got nerve to try to tell people what to do. And you charging folk to get in, to hear that foolishness, and sometimes it's so terrible. Just shut up. Stay away from everything nothing to do with you. This right here is above your pay grade. You're a clown. Do tricks. You're a clown. Tell jokes. But you leave this book alone. Unless Yah is actually calling you to this book, then you need to get up off them joking stages and go somewhere and read it and study. And then call an elder who is also studying it. Call a leader. Call somebody. Give me a call. And don't get mad if I don't answer the phone the first time, because I might think you faking. It take a while to get to the more these days. I don't think nobody's serious these days. It take a while. Po Jazz, I feel sorry for it. You want to talk to my dad? Hold on. Hey, Pop, so-and-so. Nope, I ain't finna talk to that, no. Dad, he done called like 5 times. Well, let's see if he'll call 10. Because these Negroes today, they don't want this. They don't want this life. They don't want to live the way I'm living and have to study on the level I'm studying and trying to help. No. Their mind and their heart is still on boats and hoes. So I don't have time for that. But if you're really serious, y'all, shalom. It's good to be in the room with you on this holy Shabbat. Had to get some of that stuff off my chest. And look, I'm not just talking, I mean that. Everything I said, I mean it. Somebody has to be a leader in the house of Israel. Somebody got to stand up and tell our people where they're going completely astray. You saw the thumbnail and you know what's going on in the world. You know we finna talk about the day of Yah. Everybody get your Bibles. We're going to be in 2 Peter today. You administrators, woo-wee. When I tell you, y'all gonna be typing and putting in verses. You might need some help. Might need to call Netanyahu, tell him to come on over here too. He might be teaching today. When he finished, tell him come on in here. And look, all of you that help in the chat, that are not, that don't have a blue wrench, but you know that you help out in the chat. If you see something lagging, you find that verse and put it in there. It can be in there 10, 20, 30 times. Don't worry about how many times the verses get posted. We're in this thing together. Y'all post them verses and help out the administration. Sometimes they got to deal with some knucklehead trolls and may miss something that the Moreh is saying. So you helping out with the verses, you help the whole chat. So, and we appreciate you. We appreciate it when you do. Hallelujah. 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 Let me put this out before we close, before I get into the message. We are full-time, and we've been full-time now. So my baby, let's see, we're going close to 15 years. And for sure, you know, I had a congregation, but even though I'm technically still their leader here, because I let them know, those that stood with me from the time I was in the Christian pastor to the transformation to the Torah and to understanding now who we are and whose we are. There's a group of people that stayed with me. They still watch the video. They still support the ARK. I will always be here for them. Even though they understood what I told them, I said, I'm not going to be able to be in the actual role of a local pastor anymore. YAH is moving me to do something worldwide. I didn't really know how it was going to happen, but through the preaching and the teaching of the word, that's it. And being obedient, really, I'm trying to be obedient to the Most High. Because like I'm human like everybody else, right? I'll try to figure out how will we survive? How will we live, pay bills, just everything, right? And the Most High said, teach my people the truth. That's the problem. Teach them the truth and let the chips fall where they may. They've been lied to enough. And people who like to live in lies, they are not the ones that I'm calling to your ministry to support you. The ones that I'm actually calling to support you, they already know that they're supposed to do it before they even get in the room. I put it on their hearts. So when you show them the scriptures, all you're doing is giving confirmation to what I have already told them. You ain't doing nothing special. I'm doing what's special. All you got to do is remind the people of their obligation based on script. You ain't got to add to it or take away. You already know that we're supported by the 10%, which is holy, by the way. I'll get into that. I know I keep saying it, but I am going to do a lesson on that. Because I'm talking about those of you who for sure want to follow Torah, follow your king. That first thing is important to him. I have a lesson. We got lessons coming. You're going to change your whole life for the better. I mean, you don't have to wait until the lessons come out to begin to put him first in your finances, because he should be first in every area. But what I'm saying is, believe I'm working on something for you. I'm not going to walk around and live in these blessings that YAH has given, knowing that I understood the key a long time ago. It's not hard. He said, bring the tithe into the storehouse, stop robbing me, and see if I won't do all these things. That's Malachi chapter 3. Matthew, and I think Luke Matthew in chapter 19, he tells the rich young ruler, he said, man, look, the stuff you got, if you sell that and follow me, boy, I'll give it all back, plus. He didn't believe it, so he went away sorrowful. The disciples said, well, what about us? We left everything. He said, you're going to get it back, too. Some 30, 60, 100. In this life and in the life to come. Then you read Matthew chapter 6, 33, I think it said, he said, here's the key. It's not about worry. It's not about fear. It's not about frightening. It's not about stressing out. It's about seeking first the kingdom, which is Torah and its righteousness. He said, all this other stuff going to be added to you. So watch. I've been living by those principles in wealth and in poverty. Maury, what? Yeah. I thought if you did it, you wouldn't be poor. I never told you that. I believe that part of the learning curve. Ooh, y'all don't want to hear this today. I know you don't, but I gotta tell you. I think part of the learning curve of financial responsibility is dragging you through some poverty. I can't do that. More. I'm saying, I do. I think learning to be faithful over the few things is what enables you to be faithful over the many things. You got to start somewhere. A whole nother lesson. The people have been watching me. I've been full-time ministry. I don't know how long. And when the Most High called me to do this, I went back poor. And it's only by his goodness and his grace, because I'm still preaching the Torah. And he lifted me back up, expanded the work. We hired staff. We started traveling. We started seeing the world. We started doing meetups. I said, what is happening here? The Most High said, I told you now, you just do what I tell you. And I'm sharing my little testimony with you because I want you to know it's not exclusive for me. It's for you too. And you're going to see the need of it, especially now that we are in these last days and we're starting to see the day of YAH. You're going to see the need of it. I want everybody to understand this. There is more to this world than just what you can see physically. There is a spiritual component here. And y'all know it, especially the Remnant, y'all know it. But we got sneaker listeners and people from all over the world, and I get it. But you're going to understand something when you study the scriptures is that there is a physical world that's operating, and then there's another component, which is a spiritual world that has impact on this physical world. And so through Torah, the Torah is always trying to get us to understand that truth. So that if we live in that truth, we will always make sure that our spiritual world is a world of righteousness. And that spiritual world of righteousness, by following Torah, right, impacts our physical world of righteousness. And when those two come together, you start to see, and I've used this term because I don't have a better one right now, you start to see the Goshens form around you. You start to see the walls of protection. You start to see, or you start to experience supernatural protection, and provisions. And you start living, you try to live a transcendent life, which means you start actually living based on your reality spiritually. I've been doing it. Everybody look at me like, Morey, I don't understand what you mean. I've been living according to my reality. And I do that. It don't matter if I'm poor or rich, broke, pocket full of money, it don't change. And people who've known me for years can't tell when I got a whole lot of money, and they can't tell when I'm flat broke. They cannot tell. Unless I say something, they can't tell. Why? Because I know who I am. It don't matter. I know who I am. I've been called. I've been set apart by him. I'm his child. He got everything. Everything belongs to him. And I'm his child, for real. Not only by creation, but by choice. I read the whole Bible. And I found out something about people who are chosen, who are his by choice, who keep the covenant. There's something about their life. They live a little different. I got lessons coming on it. I'll talk about it later. It's not it ain't gonna be the absence of this life, because life goes up and down. That's not what he's promising you. He's promising something on a whole nother level. Ooh-wee. I'll say one thing, and I'm gonna let this go. I'm gonna say one thing, because some of y'all need to hear it right now. So I'm gonna say one thing, and then I'm gonna move on to my subject today, because some of y'all really do need to hear this. Some of you all really don't know that YAH is with you in your struggle. You don't know that. You think you by yourself all alone, right? And you've never really experienced, listen to me, you really haven't experienced something coming your way out of no way. You haven't experienced it yet, because you haven't been faithful over the few things, the tithes and offerings. So you don't know what that's like. But I do. I got folk watching me right now tell you. There was times I was so broke. There was times I turned the water on in my house. Now you know it's bad when your water don't work. Turn the water, it's recent. This ain't too many years ago. Turn the water on. No water. But you know why I didn't trip? I was already a giver, tithes and offerings, all that, right? I had made relationships. That's a whole nother thing I ain't finna get into. For there were positive things that I guess I had planted years ago, that when the word got out, just a little bit, hey man, you're Morey, man, he out there, he got no water. Man, let me tell you something. Brother called me, or really his wife, Amelia called and said, what did you say? That was all I needed. Next thing I know, we got clothes, clean, showers, anything else. Y'all don't be over there now. I said, oh, wow. This is interesting. Y'all don't know nothing about that part. I'm still faithful in tithes and offerings. I want you to hear what I'm saying. I'm not being stingy during this time. Even if it's a little bit, I'm still giving y'all his. You're supposed to keep that. You struggling. No, I need to give this because I'm struggling. And I got too many people that know me and was with me in the struggle. I can't lie about it. I would drive home. There'd be a box of food a box of food on the porch. Sometimes I wouldn't even know who gave it. Till you open the box and be like, well, who put this in here? Then be like a little note. I don't know why I was supposed to bring this to you, but if you need it, eat it and enjoy it. If not, then maybe you're the one that's supposed to find the person who needs it. On a note. Y'all ain't there yet. That's fine. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just letting you know there's a little bit of my experience. You don't know nothing about that. I ain't talking about begging nobody. I'm talking about when I got to the house, the box of food was on the porch. I don't know why I'm supposed to bring this box of food over here. If you need it, go and eat it. If not, just pray and see who you can share it with. I can't get caught up in that right now. I'm just sharing with you. Torah is not the same as church. Walking in your covenant is not like being in some denomination or religion. Seeking Yah's face, obeying him is not the same as what they was telling you when they were still creating, living in all types of wickedness without that Torah and saying it's been done away with. It's two completely different things. It is. And so I want those of you who follow the work of the ARK, those of you who pray for us and support us, and those of you who are learning about finances and learning all that kind of stuff, when you see me, you kind of have an example. I'm not the best example. I'm just an example of a person trying to keep Torah and trying to walk in the call that he gave me. And try to be a blessing to other people. In some kind of way, spiritually, the way Yah works is that he brings it back. Now, don't try to ask me questions like, how's he going to do it? I don't know how he's going to do it for you. I've seen in the scriptures how he's used he used a bird one time to feed a preacher, a prophet. He used birds. Matter of fact, they was ravens. And you know ravens eat everything they out. A raven don't share nothing. But those ravens did. Feeling good like a Hebrew should. If y'all feeling good like a Hebrew should, and you were encouraged by that word of encouragement that just went forth throughout the whole wide world, would you be so kind as to put a 100,000 in the chat, please? Put a 100,000 as we encourage the house of Israel to follow Torah. Don't listen to nobody that's not qualified to teach you this book. They don't know what's in it. They don't know the promises. They don't understand your position and your place as the actual bride. They sure don't have a clue who you are as the remnant either. So your responsibility is going to be always to Yah. Now look, I see them, them 100,000 rolling through here. And y'all, I just say hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. That wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is going forth. And I say Toda Rabbah, which means thank you very much. Thank you. expanded. Thank you, multiplied. Thank you in the biggest way I could possibly say it. It's very interesting. Today's a very interesting day for me. Most of the time, well, first of all, let me say this. So today is actually my birthday. Till my birthday last night, Jazz came by and we had dinner together and just chilled out. It was wonderful. Today's my birthday, and told everybody, I know it kind of got out. People kind of know, but anyway, and I appreciate all of your prayers and your support. I appreciate all the gifts and things that you have sent and words of encouragement. None of it is going unnoticed. Your prayers, I shouldn't say I can't believe it, but after all these years, I'm still here. I'm out here on His Word. And when we go through those yearly cycles, I don't listen to these heathens talking about you're not supposed to remember the day that you were born. That's not in the Bible. Matter of fact, we are told to count our days. We are told to pay attention to our days. And the reason is because that's how we count our blessings. To number our days, we're supposed to actually ask our YAH to teach us to number our days. I remember in the Hebrew community, boy, anything a Negro said, boy, our community was waking up. We were running with it. Boy. I was like, yeah, do you really want me to have to preach to these people? Nobody's reading the Bible. You literally said, teach us to number our days. And then some Negro preacher stand up and say, you can't number your days, and you'll take him over David? Boy, that's crazy. So anyway, I never followed that don't remember your days thing. That's not in the Bible. Don't count your days. Why? Every day should be counted. And when you can make it through a whole cycle, and I think back on the ups and downs, when I think back on the close calls, when I think back on the fact that I ain't gonna do that right now. It's not why I came in the room. What I wanted to say was, I'm feeling good like a Hebrew should, and grateful for another year, mainly another opportunity to continue to help wake up Jacob, to help open the eyes of those of us that are blind, and that we would wake up and be prepared to meet our King. So that's my greatest blessing, and I'm grateful to be in such a position in these last days, because He didn't have to wake me up. He didn't have to call me. He didn't have to separate me from all the stuff that I was into, but He did, and I'm grateful. And at the same time that I'm grateful, I have to speak on a tragedy. So my emotions are you know what I mean? Like, I have to help our people in the midst of these last days see something. So this takes precedent over me just, chilling out and enjoying the rest of the day, hanging out with friends and family, playing music or do whatever. This has to be done first. Seek ye first the kingdom. That's the Bible. Of YAH and His righteousness, and then everything else will be added. Just make sure that YAH stays first. That's why I'm in the room with y'all first. And to help you, these messages today, I promise you, they're going to help you. When we get into this 2 Peter, it's going to be helpful. So I think that's what we're going to do now. Once again, thank you. I'm appreciative of all that you do. And And pray for me as we go through this, because obviously what just happened with these fires and things, what just happened, just happened. It's not like I had 2 or 3 weeks or a month to prepare a message. The Most High actually was showing me some things all yesterday and today. And so I'm putting it I had put it together, got up early this morning to put it together. And as I was putting it together, I was thinking about you. Because I really wanted to be in Isaiah. Yah knows I wanted to do Isaiah this morning. But I'm not the one that called me. I do what he tells me. And when I start trying to, I can feel it spiritually. When I start trying to force a message that I want to do, it seemed like he pulled the bottom out of it. Poof. And I can't feel it no more. Like, whoa. Okay, then what is it that you show me what you want? And then he boom. I'm like, oh, I see it. Okay, let's do it. 2 Peter chapter 3. 2 Peter chapter 3. This is what we're going to look today. I told you administrators, get ready. Everybody else in the chat, get ready. There's going to be some verses. The way he starts off chapter 3 of 2 Peter, he says, this second epistle. If y'all could see that the reason why we know this is 2 Peter, 2 Kepha, is because he said it out of his mouth. This second letter, I'm already teaching you more than you ever learned when you was in that so-called Christian church. This second epistle, the second letter, if you see that, be so kind. Once again, put them 100,000. Let's just start there again. Put them 100,000. We got to see this is the second one. I see the 100,000 in the room. We can clearly see this is the second epistle. Not based on the title of the book, but based on what Kepha said. This is my second one. So it's a continuation. 1 Peter, or Kepha, is not supposed to be separated. I'm sorry. Yeah. 1 Peter is not supposed to be separated from 2 Peter, and 2 Peter is not separated from 1 Peter. The first letter and the second letter go together. There's a letter and a follow-up. A letter and a follow-up letter. Right? You need to understand that in your mind. Why? Because by the time we get to the end of his second letter, he's talking about what he started, not in this book, not in the second letter. He's talking about what he started talking about in the first letter. So to get to this point, you got to be familiar with the first letter. You should know everything in that first letter. I'm not going to go too deep in the first letter. I just want to show you something. Only because of time. If it wasn't for time, I could stay here. I could probably stay here 4 hours. Easy today. 4 or 5 hours with no problem. I'm just not going to do it. Now watch. Go to 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 1. We know this is the same writer. We know that there's the second letter. So now let's go to the first letter to find out who he's writing to. Peter, or Kepha, an apostle. Whoo-wee, I ain't gonna do that today. An apostle of Yahushua HaMashiach. You saw it? To the strangers scattered. The strangers scattered? Who are the strangers scattered? is he writing to that are strangers in strange lands that were scattered? And Bible students already know he's talking to the Israelites. We already know that. He's talking to Israel that's scattered among the heathens. And remember that we were scattered among the heathens through slavery, through the slave trade. The first time as a nation we were taken out of our land, it was the top 10 tribes. They were scattered throughout Europe primarily. Kepha is writing a little bit before 70 AD. And he's warning the people that that time is coming. What time? That prophesied time. To where all of Israel will be dispersed. So then these letters are not just to the 10 tribes that were scattered under the Assyrians. This letter is written to all the scattered. Why? Because we all got scattered the same way through captivity. Now, if you understood that, put a 200,000. All of us got scattered the same way. Conquest, captivity, and slavery. Which makes all of us strangers in this strange land. Everywhere we were scattered was not our original home. Our original home is Holy Jerusalem. Our mountain is Mount Zion. Why? No. Our river is from the Nile to the Euphrates to the Tigris. Our water, yes, you already know it, is the Mediterranean. It's the River Jordan. It's Galilee. Talk more, baby. It's the South Sea. It's the Persian Gulf. I ain't doing that with y'all right now. I ain't got time. We got scattered. And when you are scattered from the promised land, from the Holy Land, and through the process of a conspiracy, going through the process of having a world superpower conspire with each other to do what? Remove your identity. Get it out of your mind that you would even hear. So that you wouldn't even know your home. You wouldn't know Elohim. You wouldn't know nothing. And it almost worked. This is what I was trying to tell my pastor, preacher friend. I said, you guys don't know that this right here almost worked 100% if it had not been for a remnant. Because none of us 20 years ago knew we was Israel. When we were told, we had to study it. And we said, oh my, it is us. Of course it is. Now, I don't know why we didn't know we got a description of them in the Bible, but that's a sidebar. I'm not doing that right now. I just want you to see that the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia, that according to the Bible, the people that are scattered are the elect. And I'm not doing this today. I'm just showing you the base. This election that Kepha is talking about, it not only goes to Genesis. With who? More, right? Abraham. But it also also goes to the Exodus, where you got Exodus, Numbers, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. So not only do we have the beginning of our people chosen and elect in Genesis, but we then see that our people, they become a nation in captivity. And Abba calls us out of this the wicked nation that we were in. He calls us out of that nation and makes us his elect. Now, all of these background verses that you administrators, you could be putting them in the chat, because we know that what he's talking about, election, we know that he is definitely taking us to the Old Testament, because we are his chosen people. We are his elect. You can definitely find that in Deuteronomy. We read it all the time. Matter of fact, man, now my mind is running. I mean, we do the Passover thing every year. Come on now, y'all know. So Exodus 12 and all that. So administrators, get on your job. All right. So watch. So the elect according to the foreknowledge of Yah, the Father. So Yahuwah, our Elohim, our Heavenly Father, through the sanctification of the Ruach unto obedience and the sprinkling of the blood of Yehoshua HaMashiach. Of course, he sees HaMashiach as the ultimate sacrifice for the covenant of the house of Israel. That's where the sprinkling of the blood comes in. And of course, we know the sprinkling of the blood takes us back to our covenant. Grace and peace to you. The wall of protection and shalom, which means wholeness, be multiplied. So right here, he begins to identify who he's talking to, which is us. If I keep reading, you can see it. He begotten us again to a lively hope by the resurrection of Yahushua, to an inheritance incorruptible, undefiled, that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you, who are kept by the power of Yah through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time. Because I'm talking about the last days, right? I'm dealing with the day of Yah. So you see the theme of the book is introduced in the very first chapter in the first 5 verses. It's reminding the house of Israel, primarily speaking, the remnant of the last day. And the idea is telling them that everything that Yah has promised that was going to happen in the last day, this is what this book is about. He says to those that are scattered, he said, listen, it's going to happen. And it's going to happen just like he said. There's not going to be any variation. There's no variation from the Old Testament, quote unquote, to the New. There ain't going to be no change from what the apostles said. I mean, what the prophet said. No, ain't going to be no church that's going to come along later and talk about no Shabbat, eat the pigs, bow down to Christmas trees, worship the devil, paint your children like the devil. None of that is in the mind of Kepha. No, Kepha is reminding those that are scattered of who they are and whose they are and the promises that have been set aside for them, which includes, 1, their deliverance from captivity because they are strangers, right? And their return home. Also, Kepha is writing to tell them, and once you return home, he's going to kill all your enemies. That's what he's talking about. Once you pull off your rosy color European lion glasses and read this book the way it's supposed to be read. How's that, Moreh? A conquering king returning to kill those who put his people in captivity, who robbed them and spoiled them and raped them and had them as cattle for 400 years. That Elohim, even though you can't tell, He's coming back. Even though it don't look like it, everything that he said he was going to do to the people who did this, he's going to make good on it. And that was his encouraging word to the scattered. Y'all hold on. Y'all ain't forgotten nothing. He ain't forgotten nobody. Everything that you have, an inheritance, is incorruptible. Your inheritance is undefiled. It don't fade away. It's reserved in Shamayim for you. You're going to get it. I'm struggling, Moreh. Don't worry about that. Your inheritance is coming, baby. But you don't understand, man. I just got a letter. They told me I got to get out my house. We'll find another one. Don't worry about that. You'll find another one. But what if I don't? Then find a trailer to live in. Then what if I can't? Then find a tent. Then what if I can't? Then find a bridge. Don't worry about it. You got an inheritance coming. You won't be out there alone. Let me tell y'all something. I live on a whole nother plane. I know you got it. More you just be talking. I'm not just talking. I just believe everything in here. And I believe, and because I'm part of the remnant, I believe I have access to YAH at all times. I'm trying to encourage you. Somebody hungry listening to Moreh. Let me tell y'all something. Not only do he feed the birds, he feed everything. What more? He even feed the plants. Food is not like a hard thing for YAH. This one. Now you might want to pay $75 for a steak, and then another $50 for some green beans, and then another $20 for a salad. That might be what you want to do, right? But that don't mean he ain't still feeding people. Just because you want to pay $75 for a steak and you mad. You can't get mad at YAH for that. Especially when you find out that the same thing that's in the steak is in the hamburger. Stop, Moreh. I'm trying to help my people. Sweating the small stuff is not what we're supposed to do. When you are rich, that's not my lesson, but I'm going to teach this lesson. When you're rich, and I'm talking about for real rich now, I'm talking about stinking rich. I'm talking about absolutely rich in all ways, spiritually, physically, mentally, physically. I'm talking about when you're rich, right? In every single way. When you go through little trials and tribulations, it don't really affect you that much. How come? Because you're rich. Everybody else falling out but you. Why aren't you falling out and losing your mind? Everybody else is. Oh, well, everybody else may not have a heavenly father. See, Gentiles, they don't have YAH. Pig meat eating preachers and they don't have YAH. My inheritance is incorruptible. My inheritance is undefiled. My inheritance fadeth not away. My inheritance is reserved. You know what that means? Try to grab something that's reserved for somebody. You can't. Say, can I get that? Oh, no, that's already reserved. For who? For Yosh. Can't you see his name? Yoshiyahu, that we been Israel. See, y'all can't see it because you operate down here. I can see it because I operate on another level. Not boasting. That's not a boast. I just live like this. I've been living like this. Yes, I live like this when I'm broke too. I live rich when I'm broke. I live rich when I'm rich. I live rich when I live rich in the country. I live rich if I'm on my tractor. I live rich if I'm out on the water on my boat. I live rich if I'm sitting by the beach on a rock with a turkey sandwich. I sit there and open that turkey sandwich and look on the rock and watch the waves like I got $1 billion without a care in the world. Y'all don't believe me. That's a shame. You should. Because that's really how he's trying to get us to live. You live life more abundant when you put him first. And you keep the Torah. And you start to go through struggles and trials, and sometimes things work out for you that you didn't even know, oh, it just happened. Sometimes your greatest fears, all of a sudden, they just dissipate. Yo, what happened? It's that other realm that Kepha is trying to remind the scattered. Why do you have to remind the scattered? Because we don't live at home. We don't live around our own mountains, our own streams, our own rivers, our own land, our own gold, our own silver. So we think because we are separated from our inheritance that it no longer belongs to us. And keep saying, don't let nobody tell you that lie. That is yours. And until we get it, you still rich, you still wealthy, you still chosen. I don't know how to tell you not to live your life. You better live it. Find ways to do things, even if you ain't got money. You better find a way to laugh. Find a way to go to the mountains and enjoy what YAH has made. Find a way to get down to the beach. Find a way to do something. Spend some time with your family. Watch this. Find a way to maybe sit down at a card table and play some bid whiz. I really dated myself when I said bid whiz. When I said bid whiz, somebody said, yeah, I know he done had a lot of birthdays. Because these young people don't know what I just said. Bid what? What is wrong with Morehyosh? His tongue got tied. No. There was a game before these cell phones and stuff came out that the old folk used to play called bid whiz. And we didn't need no electricity. We didn't need no, we didn't no charger. We didn't need no charger. Hey, your debt going dead? No, let me get your power. Can I use the power? Yeah, I got how much percent you got? I ain't got. Man, we didn't think about none of that. We doing this. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. That's what we was doing. Watch. Broke. Why? Because we could put 50 cents together, couldn't we? $1 and go get some cars, couldn't we? Don't let nobody make you live down in the dumps. I don't care what situation you're in. You're a child of the Most High Yah. We have an inheritance. Verse 5, and I'm going to keep going. I told you we're going to be in the room a while. Verse 5, who are kept. That's us, the scattered. How? Only by the power of Yah. Did you see it? The only reason that we are kept even now is because of Yah's power. We have nothing. How are we kept? How do we have gold in our hair, gold in our teeth, gold around our neck, gold on our fingers, gold on our wrists, gold on our ankles? We got gold on our and we ex-slaves here. How? I mean, Negroes today, boy, we got top shelf liquor. We ain't getting no normal stuff on that bottom shelf. Boy, we so bougie now. I go out, hang out with people, they like, oh no, Maury, don't order that. That's good stuff right there. Oh, no. We drinks this now. I said, we do? Oh, yes. I said, get it, shoot. Wow. I'd rather take the top shelf with you and have a good time, laughing and joking and watch and enjoying one another's company. That's what we're doing these days, right? How? Kept by Yah. That's how. Because if our enemies had an opportunity, they would, woo-wee. Now, kept by Yah through faith, which we know is emunah, unto salvation, ready to be revealed when? There's the word again. Did you see it in the last time? Did you see it? I want you to see the theme. The theme has been revealed. The theme keeps coming back, right? And what is it? The last time, in the last time, in the last times. Don't misunderstand Kepha's book. He's telling you what it's about. It's encouraging the house of Israel that's scattered around the world through captivity about your steadfast promises in the last times, which will ultimately redeem you and destroy those who held you in captivity. That is the whole book. Now, having given you that, I know some of y'all right now like, Maury, would you just keep reading? Because man, it get better. Let me tell you something. I know. Y'all want me to be in here 5 hours? You don't think I know that this gets better? You don't think I know that verse 6 says, wherein you greatly rejoice? Though now for a season, if need be, you're in heaviness through manifold temptation. He's like, I know you're going through it. That the trial of your faith being much precious, this is what I was trying to tell you earlier, that the trial of your faith being much more precious than of gold that perishes, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Hamashiach, whom having not seen, you love. Oh, don't do it. See, look. Talk to the remnant. He said, look, I know you haven't seen him, but you love him. And I want you to know you're right, you're secure. And what he's teaching you is more precious than the gold that you really want. And I ain't saying he ain't gonna give you gold, but I'm trying to tell you is you need to learn something about your relationship with Yah versus gold. Okay. I'm going to move on because I got to get to my... But y'all, if you read this book, First Kepha, you begin to understand Second Kepha. First Peter, Second Peter. So this first letter has all this encouragement in it. And he's telling the people how to survive until the day. Right? Which, by the way, this letter is to us too. And my point of the message today is to show you that this is the day he's talking about. What, Maury? Yeah, we've entered into the day that he keeps telling us to be faithful and be strong, that one day this and that. Even that part in Peter where it talks about servants, obey your masters and all that. Really, to be honest, Kepha was not talking about chattel slavery at all. That was something the white man did and then misused our scripture. If I was going through the first Kepha, I would give it to you in context and you would see it like, you'd be like, that damn white supremacist, yeah. That dude is a satanic, demonic beast. If I actually showed you what Kepha was talking about, you'd be like, Mowbray, come on, man. Because you know I would show you. He would never talk about no chattel slavery. It hadn't even been invented. Nobody was doing that. Nobody was doing what them heathens did to us. That was the worst of the heathen. I don't give a damn what they tell you. Nobody could compare to what they were doing to us here and in them different places when they put us on them slave ships. Just them ships by themselves is crazy. Just that alone of being out there packed in those nasty, stinking places on the sea, seasick and not knowing what's happening. Boys, girls, children, babies, old folk. Nowhere to use the bathroom, nowhere to vomit, nowhere to just that alone. I ain't gonna do that right now. Keith's not talking about that. When he talked about being subject to authority. That's what the white man did. He lied. He going to hell. Don't worry about it. That whole, they going to hell for that. Our king don't play that. Not when it comes to the house of Israel. I could show you in the scriptures, we couldn't even hold each other in slavery. I ain't got time to do that right now. So you know that heathen is supposed to touch us at all. So Kepha tells us how to survive, basically, until that day. And what he's really talking about is character. He's talking about you keep your character. You keep being a good and honest person, even when this crazy satanic world has us in captivity. You keep your integrity. That's what he's really talking about. I ain't got time to go there. I know y'all want me to. I can't right now. We'll come back later and talk about that. I'm going to need you to do a big, long leap because we're going to leap over all the rest of that. So you got, so when you're in 1 Peter, he's going to talk about us being committed to our YAH. He's going to talk about our life being set apart. He's going to talk about that one part I just mentioned about being subject to authority, which is not that chattel slavery that they did to us. That's different. I want you to know that. Then he's going to talk about the husbands and wives. He told the wives, submit to your husband and do it because of Sarah. He takes you to Torah. But to call your husband Lord, and that don't mean just with your mouth, it's with your life. He's your master. And then he talks about husbands. Love your wives. Get to know them. Understand. That's all in Kepha. What is he doing? These are all words of encouragement, reminding them of who they are and whose they are. Then he talks about being able to endure to the very end. Then he says, be strong. Don't let nobody take you off of Torah, no matter what. Then he tells us to feed the flock of Yah in 1 Peter chapter 5, which is among you, taking oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind, not as lords over Yah's heritage. I told them Hebrew. I've been telling these black preachers, these ain't your people. You in trouble for that. These my folk, these my niggas, okay? Keep talking. You're going to find out that's Yah's inheritance. And what Yah required of us was to give them Torah, and you didn't do it. So when you get into the kingdom, you will be going to hell for that. So now we skip over all that. Right? I mean, we keep going. We get to second Kepha. He's talking about the same thing in a new letter. Maury, that's the longest introduction I've ever heard in my life. That's okay. I told you you're going to be working. So now we get to second Kepha. He said, this second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you in both which I stir up, this is 2 Peter 3:1. I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance. See, this is where he was going with the book. He said, look, y'all done forgot some things. didn't say that. Yes, he did. He said, I know that you're in the remnant, and I know that you've been scattered, and I know you're strangers in a strange land. I know some of y'all working jobs that's difficult and hard. I know you're trying to keep the family together. I know the struggles of the society. He goes on and on. I understand all that, but you can't lose your faith in Abba Yah and your promises. You can't ever start thinking that you are less than who Yah says you are. You can never do that. And on top of that, he said, look, and you got to remember some things. Well, what is that? Let me give you these points to get out the room. First of all, there's something, which is point number one, there's something you got to keep in your mind. There's something, according to 2 Peter, you got to keep in your mind. So Peter is telling us as the house of Israel, remember, this ain't no European, this is not Christian, this is not no Catholics, this ain't no, these ain't no the Zionists coming down out of the Caucasus, out of the mountains from Europe or Ukraine. He ain't talking to none of them. He's talking to us, scattered sons and daughters of the slave trade. He says, watch what he says. You got to be mindful, which means keep in mind. That's my point number one. What are we supposed to keep in mind? Because he used this word, remember. Can you believe this? That he actually says this in the Bible? That you may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets. Stop. What? Kepha? My pastor said it. We have to know that. My pastor said that Morehyosh. Stop. Dr. Yoshiyahu Dawid ben Israel. Get it straight. Well, I heard the Dr. Yoshiyahu Dawid ben Israel said, what? That we have to keep the laws and the statutes and the commandments and follow the teachings of the prophets. And then I hear these pygmy-eating preachers say, well, you know what? I don't know what happened to him. He used to be a really good preacher. He used to be a good teacher. I don't know what happened to him. Nigga, I read the Bible. Now, do you know what happened to me? I was called. I was set apart. The scriptures were revealed to me. They no magic. Do you know I can read? There's something we were never supposed to forget. What? We were never, ever supposed to forget the words that were spoken before by our holy prophets. The people that you telling the people, don't worry about that. You don't have to know it. It's been done away with. You saying exactly the opposite of what Kepha said. Kepha on his way out said, don't you forget what them prophets said. Then you come along with your pig meat eating behind talking about, you can forget what they said, going to hell. Somebody was asking in the chat, I don't even know if I think the administrator blocked them anyway. They asked in the chat, does he believe in the New Testament? You're going to hell for asking that. Because what you're really trying to do is create mockery. I know who you are. You're trying to create division and you're trying to use mockery And you don't understand that dumb ass statement of trying to divide the New Testament from the Old Testament. What you're doing when you do that, you don't know what you're doing is exposing the fact that you don't know the Bible. If you follow my ministry for any time over the last 10, 15 years, you know good and well I've been telling you it ain't no difference. And I preach out of every single book in the Bible. Spent 3 years, almost 3 years going through the book of the Revelation. You can't get no more New Testament than that, right? I can see the wickedness and the evil and these trolls and these scrolls and these so-called preachers and pastors coming in here under fake names and stuff. What I'm doing is showing you your Bible. This is why we ask for support. This is why we show the house of Israel the tithes, the offerings, the gifts, the prayers, the support anyway. This is why we do it. Why? Because Yah gave us a seer. That's why. And I want to say this. How y'all getting mad over the fact that I can see something better than you when you also have a Bible? You do know you could have read 2 Peter and said, oh, you know what? Y'all, we actually supposed to be mindful of the words of the holy prophets. We're not supposed to forget it. I was bad. I'm wrong. You know, how come you didn't read this and tell your people that? Because you're going to hell. That's why. And you know it. This is not deep. This is surface. We are supposed to keep the words of the holy prophets. Wait a minute. And the commandments of us, the apostles of Yahuwah, of our King and Savior. Did you see? So you're trying to make it either or. And see, Keefer not going to let you play that game with him. Because Keefer knows who Hamashiach is. Keefer knows that Hamashiach is Abba Yah in the flesh. Word made flesh. So he's not going to let you separate the law, the prophets, and the commandments. Or he's going to let you separate the law, the prophets, the commandments, Yah and Yahushua. He's not going to let you do it. Why? Because we don't do that. Okay. If y'all rolling with the more, put 500,000 in the chat. Please, put a 500,000. I'm starting to feel good like a Hebrew should. Don't listen, Zion. Don't you listen to these preachers and pastors. It's going against this Bible, even if it's in their so-called New Testament. If you show them this verse, this ain't in the Old Testament. This verse right here is in the New Testament. This verse right here is after the death, burial, and resurrection of Hamashiach. Chronologically speaking, Hamashiach is already seated on the throne. So if the Christian churches and their doctrines are correct, shouldn't Keefer say, oh, and by the way, don't remember nothing that the prophet said, because we got white Caesar Borgia images now, white Jesus, and all that stuff been done away with. He didn't say that, and you know it. That's why you're going to hell. Down to the sides of the pit with all the rest of with the beast and the false prophets. He said, you need to be mindful. And that word means to keep in your mind. So what are we supposed to keep in our mind? Verse 3. Knowing this first. What? That there shall come in the last days scoffers, No. Yeah. He said, man, look, when you read the Torah prophesies that there will be people scoffing. What is that, Moray? Making mockery of us. There'll be mockers mocking us. There'll be people making fun of us because we believe in the return of our King. There'll be people making fun of us because we're trying to turn to Torah. There'll be people mocking us because we are telling people how they should live in these last days, how to get their families in order. We're trying to tell them how to get their finances in order, how to have their future in order, so we get mocked. We're telling them that this empire is going to fall, so they mock us. We tell them Babylon is top heavy, the head is gold, and the feet are clay mixed with iron, and they mock us. We say that the slave trade don't last forever. It's got a marker, 400 years, and then they mock us. We say that to them that the nation that held us in captivity, you do know that afterward, Yah's going to judge them, and then they mock us. He said they've always been here. The prophets talked about the mockers. This new Negro that's in this church, he don't know nothing. His default is to mock. We mock anything. We mock anybody for any reason. And this one is a big reason. They mock us for not putting a Christmas tree in the house. What a mockery now. Who's mocking now? Can you see this? You can't see this as a sign that you can see that thing in that window on fire. No, we can keep doing whatever we want to do. Don't listen to Morehyosh. Mockery, huh? Scoffers. Did y'all see this? Did you see this? They make mockery of us. We can do whatever we want. We can dress the way we want. We can be this, whatever we want. Literally, you see the sign, right? And there's the fire. Scoffers and mockers. You see the sign of wickedness. And for those of you who don't know, that's a man. Dressed up like a woman in violation of Torah, letter for letter, who convinced himself because his preacher said, don't read the Bible, the Torah been done away with, convinced himself that he could do this and still go into the kingdom of YAH. All because his pastor thought it was cute. And him and his pastor You see the fire? How'd they get that picture? And why do we have this picture? And why and how do we have this picture? At the moment, I'm going to tell you why. Signs of who? The scoffers. He don't care about this. This ain't no big deal. I mean, he set the whole, you don't think the timing of this thing is just perfect timing? That he caused, you can't see that he caused this devastation in the middle of winter while that damn tree is still standing in your living room? If you can't see that, I can't help you. You can't see that a heathen took a picture, trying to take a picture of the devastation and got this. He wasn't taking a picture of the billboard. He was trying to take a picture of the fire. It just so happened that as he was passing by with his camera, he snapped it, trying to get the fire and got the billboard. More, that's me. Yoshiyahu, that we've been Israel, that's me. I'm the one that took the footage, stopped it, enlarged it, edited it, and brought it to you. I did this. Because when I saw it, I saw the clip, I said, is that? I said, hold on, let me back up. I said, no, that cannot be. Click it. Screen saved it right there. Brought it into my little studio, enlarged it, edited it, cropped it, and brought it to the whole house of Israel. Yah is not pleased with this. Jeremiah 17. Jeremiah chapter 17. Jeremiah chapter 17. Come on, let's get it. And let's look at verse 17. Ooh-wee. Oh, yes, here we go. Jeremiah 17, let's get in around, I'm going to get in at 13. I really could get in at 5, but for time, I'm going to get in around 13. Oh, Yah, the hope of Israel. That's us, baby. All that forsake thee shall be ashamed. And they that depart from me shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken Yahuwah, the fountain of living waters. Heal me, O Yah, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved. For thou art my praise. Behold, what? Look. Notice this. Check this out. What is that? They say unto me, where is the word of Yahuwah? Let it come now. Did you see it? See, Kepha said, you're supposed to remember the prophets. Because if you remember the prophets and remember what they said, then when you hear people saying what the prophets said they would say, you would know what time it is. And what are people saying? They saying exactly what Peter said they would say. And ain't nobody here from the beginning of time. Where's the promise? Where's the promise? I don't see it. Things just going on like they going on. That's what you believe, huh? Okay. We heard of you already. I knew you was coming. I knew your word was coming. Why? I read the Bible. I read Jeremiah several times. I've read Jeremiah to y'all. Almost the whole book. Several times. So when we hear people saying, if he gonna do something, look, our prophets told us you was coming. Our prophets told us you was gonna say that. And what our prophets told us to do is what I'm going to tell y'all to do. Listen to the prophets. Remember or be mindful or keep in mind what the prophets said. Watch this. And forget what these scoffers say. That's my next point. Remember what the prophets say. Forget what these niggas are saying. And when I say nigga, I ain't talking about just black people. I'm talking about all the scoffers. Nigga ain't a color. Forget what these folks saying. Remember your prophets and forget everybody else. These scoffers are going to talk. These scoffers are going to they're going to scoff. These mockers are going to make mockery. That's what they do. They out of line for that. But that's how they come back against us when they don't believe what we're preaching. I've been telling these preachers and pastors for the last 10 years and all my friends, my family, I'm like, hey, Negro, you know I know you ain't read the Bible. So stop acting like you have when you get around me. You're playing a game that you play with your weak members who also have not read the Bible. But when you're in my presence, you know I've read it. So let's stop playing games. You haven't read it. Because if you would have read it, there was no way that you can't see that mockery that you bringing up has been brought up before. We were warned about the mockery. And that's why I came in the room today to strengthen the house of Israel. What you guys get when you try to stand up to truth, this mockery is not new. And that's what Kepha's saying. If you know the Old Testament, quote unquote, it ain't Old Testament. If you know your prophets, if you know the law, the Torah, and the prophets and the writings, this stuff is not going to catch you off guard or by surprise. You need to understand that the scoffers are coming. Doing what? Walking after their own lust? No more, right? Yes, they are. Psalm 12. Psalm number 12. Told you administrators going to be typing and carrying on. I wasn't jumping. I thought I was playing. Not today. No, we're putting stuff in the chat. We're letting the whole world know. Why? Because the whole world is watching. We're letting them know that everything we're doing in here coming out the Torah. I don't need no dusty scrolls that they done found in some dark cave, man, that's written by the heathen that's going to go against my Bible. I got enough. You can keep them. Have you seen such and such? No. Oh, it don't agree with the Bible. Then flush it down the toilet. Well, I'm just saying, I found a book that disagrees with it and flush it down the toilet. Oh, you can go down the toilet with it. You can throw it in the lake, and if you believe it, jump in the lake with it. It doesn't bother me at all what they keep trying to find. It don't matter. The Bible said, they got Moses and the prophets to listen to. That's what we got. And that's what I'm going to stay with. What am I trying to do? Oh, I'm trying to get Psalm. Go with me to Psalm number 12. Ooh, I'm supposed to be in Psalm number 12. I actually have this psalm is actually online. Back in the archive somewhere. Listen to this. Help, Yah. You see that cry of David? He started off saying, help! Help! Yahuwah! Why? Why are you hollering at me, son? What's going on down there? He said, the godly man ceases. It ain't hard no more righteous men. For the faithful fell among the children of Israel, among the children of men. What else? They speak vanity. What? Everyone with his neighbor. Flattering lips, and with a double heart do they speak. Verse 3, Yahuwah shall cut off all flattering lips, and the tongue that speaketh proud things, who have said, with our mouth, with our tongue we shall prevail. Our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us? You're going to find out. Oh, you heathens going to find out. You going to find out. You going to find out. You gonna find out. Keep talking. Keep talking. We have said with our tongue we will prevail. Our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us? Then you go back to Kepha, and he warned us about these Negroes. He said, walking after their own lust and saying things that they ought not. What are they saying? And saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation, of the creation. For this, they willingly are ignorant. If you see that, put a 700,000 in this chat. Willingly ignorant. Boy, that is a stupid person. Willingly ignorant. For this, they willingly are ignorant of that by the word of Yah. Oh, you forgot some things. What's that? The heavens were of old. Did Kepha take you to Genesis? Oh my. Okay, I realize now I'm over time. What? Kepha said, boy, that heathen man. And that non-believer Negro and that slumber brew and that pygmy eating preacher, he said, man, it's strange to me that they talk so much, you know what, so much trash, mockery, scoffing and carrying on, talking about what they gonna do and what they see and how they see it and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, and the whole time these Negroes done forgot that Yah is the creator. You forgot that it was Yah that separated the water from the midst of the firmament, so that there is a division between the water that is above the firmament and below. You forgot he did that. You forgot that, huh? Hey, you need to ask them heathens about what he can do with that. You know they floating in them judgment waters, right? Ask them what happened when they didn't listen to Noah. Ask them. They mocked Noah. They told Noah, Negro, it ain't never rain. It ain't gonna rain water from the sky. And they made mockery. Wow! This nigga talking about. Do you see him building the ark? Hey, y'all, come see this. You ain't gonna believe this nigga out here building. Ain't got his poor wife. She out here making sandwiches and bringing him, iced sweet tea and stuff. Poor thing. She should be out here living it up. She should be at the club. Boy, she kind of cute. Boy, she probably could make some money out here in the club. She over here serving her husband. Poor thing. And look at her son. Well, they could be out here being big ballers and shot callers. They could be out here getting money. But look at them niggas over there talking about, man, it's going to rain. Boy, they made big mockery. Just like they mocked Morehyosh and my family. Just like they mock everybody. They mock us. It's fine. Nigga, I read about you. All I know is that you forgot that Yah created the heaven and the earth. You forgot that. And you forgot that above your head is water. And you forgot that below your feet is water. So when I buy Yah get ready to destroy the world, it ain't no hard thing for him. The water already there. Why? It's already above you. He ain't got to go put it up there. The water is already below you. He ain't got to go put it in there. Scoffers, boy, y'all something else. You don't know that the snakes is already in the camp. It's only Yah that's keeping them from biting the people. He don't got to go create no snakes. He ain't got to make up no snakes. They already in the camp. They just under control right now. Don't bite them Negroes. But when they went too far, y'all know the story? He's gonna bite them. Them snakes was like, oh, about time. Shoot. I can hear them mocking you and scoffing you and complaining about you. And you are maker. You provide for us in this wilderness. And they talking about you. We ain't never seen you have that kind of patience and that kind of mercy with us. They talking about if they go to the promised land, they gonna die because you gonna kill the women and children. And you didn't tell us not to bite them. He said, well, y'all can bite them now. They like, good. Boy, they start biting niggas. Niggas start dropping dead left and right. Left and right. Moses said, okay, yeah, you gonna kill them all? They said, man, please do something. Y'all got to read these stories. When you read this Bible the way it's supposed to be read, you're going to find out, yeah, what we seeing now, it's been out here before. This ain't nothing new. That's what Keith was trying to tell you. You shouldn't listen to your pastor. He don't know a goddamn thing. And I didn't say God, I said God. But if I did say God, I don't believe in that word. Our Elohim's name is Yahuwah. They don't know the Bible none. Put pimping our people. Making mockery. And this is what gets me. How do you you make mockery against the Negroes who read, who done read it? I can see you making mockery of the people who ain't read it and acting like they have. How you making mockery of the ones that's reading it? Look. You know what? I said I was going to get out the room, but I had to read that Psalm 12 because some of y'all didn't even know I was in the Bible. Yeah, it's in there. I know your pastor told you didn't have to read it. Your pastor going to hell like I keep telling you. You're going to believe me one day. You're going to stop listening to them people. You're going to stop. You're going, hopefully you the remnant, you waking up to the truth, you sneak listeners, those you on the fence, y'all going to be like, you know what? We getting way too close. I'm not even done with Kepha. We're going back into 2 Peter. Remember the continuation of 1 Peter talking to us that's been established, scattered, and strangers in a strange land. Watch. For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of Yah the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water. These are so smart. I love reading the Bible because their intelligence was on such a high level. Whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store. What? He said, remember how the waters came down and flooded the whole world? Judgment. He said, yeah. Well, you know, those waters have subsided. And now there's a new world here, this earth that we're in now, right? He said, but the heavens and the earth which are now, by that same word, what? The word of Yah, the word of judgment. This is what he says. Are kept in store, reserved. Reserved for what? Fire. Come on, Kepha. He said, you know how in those days, they didn't believe the world was going to be by flood. Do you remember that? He said, yeah, I remember that. But it came anyway. Yeah. Remember they said it wasn't going to fall from heaven, but it fell anyway? Yeah. Remember how they mocked it? Well, it happened, right? But the truth is, after that judgment, they went wicked again. So we see the world, but what people don't know, it's been reserved for what? Fire. See, now when you pull them rosy color, that kind of weird music, get all that out your mind when you read the Bible. All that stuff is fake European garbage. Get all that stuff out your brain. Read the Bible straight like it's supposed to be read. Kepha's talking about death and destruction and killing. He's talking about judgment, and he's saying the world will be so bad that Yah will keep it so that he can burn it. It's reserved. And this is why I told the heathen the other day, I said, look, I got to talk to Israel, and then I'm going to talk to the heathen. I said, heathen, let me tell you something about what you see in LA. And there's fires all over the world right now. But I said, the reason why I brought out LA was because of its wealth, its power and influence in the world. That's why I brought that city out, because I could have talked about any of them. I told the heathen the other day, that might have been just yesterday. But anyway, I told that heathen, I said, based on the scriptures, this is the beginning of sorrows for you. The remnant is waking up. The remnant is turning to Torah. The remnant is straightening out their finances. They paying tithes, offerings. They keeping the feast. They keeping Shabbat. They are keeping the all the 7 feast days. They're walking according to the Torah now. They're starting to do the obey the commandments. They starting to read even deeper. They starting to figure out like how to eat healthy. Much of the remnant now planting gardens, and a lot of the remnant now, man, they checking on one another. They calling each other. They praying for one another. They got little group chats going on just to encourage each other. Let me tell you something, bud. That remnant waking up. Just like right now, the remnant been in the room with the Morehyosh over 2 hours. Back in the day, they couldn't stand to be in church for 15 minutes. Preacher go over 20 minutes, they out of there. But now they sitting in the room over 2 hours, you heathens. Our time is over. Our people just don't know it. Free and don't know it. But your time is beginning. Why? Because when you turn on a faucet in the fire and the water don't come out, I don't care who you put the blame on, it's irrelevant. Their houses are gone. That thing was orchestrated. I watched children in the ghetto on a hot day, not in the winter, on a hot day, go out to the hydrant, turn it on, and play in the water until the water run down the street and the fire department gotta come and turn it off. The kids in the ghetto that don't know where their next meal is coming, that ain't funny, but I'm just saying, got more water. They running the water down the street. And the richest people on earth living in the most expensive houses on earth, when the actual fire comes, you open up yours and it drip out. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Oh, it's over for you. And the Morehyosh came online to tell you, this is the beginning. And just like you still fighting right now, you're going to understand something about our King. Those elements that he getting ready to use, that he been using, but I'm talking about, you can't fight them. Have y'all forgot the tornadoes and the destruction that just happened on the southern coast of this country? Did you forget? Did you forget the eclipse? See, some of the stuff you can't stop. Did you forget that? The floods. Did you forget the warnings? Tell everybody to get up out of here. And then we saw alligators going down the middle of the street like they was Jaguar cars taking over lands, place. I said, this is it. And I'm only talking about here. I don't have the time. Time would fail me to begin to pull up everything that's going on all around the world to those who held us in captivity. But beloved, back in the verse, and I'm out. I see my time. But beloved, talking about you and me, Israel. Talking about the house of Israel scattered, the 12 tribes. Don't be ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with Yahweh as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day. So I know everybody mocking about the time and all that. When did he come? He said, look, hey, Zion, listen, Israel, listen to me. Y'all don't work on time like we do. Time is a whole different thing when it comes to Yah, the way he operates, the way he functions. Don't listen to these scoffers talking about what they talking about, because they only in time for a little small dash. What's a dash, Morehyosh? Go to any funeral. When you get a program, what they have on the program is the day that you were born. And on that obituary, they're going to also have the day you died. They got your birth date on there and your death date on there, and between the two numbers is a little dash. And what Keith is trying to say is, don't let no Negro with a little dash attached to him talk to you about Yah's timing. You a dash trying to talk and speak for the one that is from everlasting to everlasting. You little dash, you. He was like, man, these scoffers, man, they come and go, come and go. Don't get caught up in these scoffers. Yah run his own time. He outside of time. He's above time. He can manipulate time. He's behind time, in front of time, under time, over time. All the time is under his control. Don't you listen to these niggas. They crazy as hell. Talking about he ain't coming when they want him to. They don't understand. Negro, you a dash. All dashes. He just shut up when it come to y'all's timing. He move when he want to move. I told you, Jazz helped me so much. She don't have no clue. Because, my mind is always running. She said, well, Dad, I think it's, we not only must pray according to his will, we also supposed to pray that we can be, obedient and willing to accept his timing. Everything is in his time. I said, my mind was like, bing, 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 bing. Just like this verse right here. This will stop you getting caught up in the scoffers, right? If you understand that they don't understand time. Time with Yah is different than time with us. But this is what he told us in verse 9. He said, but let me tell you something about Yah, though. Yah ain't slack. That's for sure. He ain't slack. I tell you that. He's not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering. Watch. To us, word. Kiefer, no, you didn't. He said, what do you mean? His long suffering is for the house of Israel. It's for us. His long suffering is for his bride. His long suffering is for his chosen. His long suffering is for those, even the companions, but I talked about that already. It's to the Yehudim, the 12 tribes first. And that's who he's talking to, the scattered. He said, look, the reason that he has given you the time that he has is because there's some people that's in the scattered that are his, and he wants them to repent. He wants them to turn. Just like I tell people when it comes to me, I tell people all the time, don't mistake my passion for hate. It's not hatred. It's love. I don't get passionate over stuff that I hate. I'm only passionate over stuff that I love. And I love the house of Israel. I love the scattered. I love his people. I love the fact that our YAH is waking up the remnant. And I hate that we have people trying to keep them dead, keep them in the graveyard, keep them asleep, keep them broke, keep them poor-minded, keep them poor in their heart, poor in their health, poor in their actions and attitude. Now that I hate, but the person I love, I wish that they would all wake up to the truth of who they are and stop this foolishness. Now, if I hated them, I wouldn't even say nothing. I'd just let them die and go to hell. Because they on their way. It's the moray that loves them that'll stand up for 2 hours hollering, turn around, turn around, turn around. Everybody else, no, keep going, brother, you got it. And I'm saying, no, you don't, turn around, stop. I'm not going to follow. Yishi, Yashi, Yoshi. Yo, Shiyahu. And there should be a doctor in there somewhere. go to hell when you can go to heaven. We're so close. Don't listen to them. Because y'all not slack. And this word promise is not the promise of a present. Like, oh, he made a promise that he's going to get you a car. He's not slack concerning a promise. You're going to get you a car. That's not what he's talking about right here. He said, Yah ain't slack concerning his promise to kill your enemies. Yah is not slack about the fact he's going to rescue his remnant and kill everybody else. Even though it's taken a while. Don't mistake his delay for hatred of the ones that he saved. No. His delay has to do with the fact that he still loves his people and he don't want people to die and go to hell. So he's delaying it. But they done pushed him. That's the point I'm making today. You done pushed him. Once you push Yah to the point where he ain't going to take it no more, he starts the judgment. And the judgment has been started. He told us when he was going to do it. He said 400 years. There'll be 400 years. And I started watching and counting it down. I said, okay, so let's just say that Trump was off in his declaration. A few years this way, a few years that way. Could be. He's human. And I got that from Netanyahu. So if I'm wrong about that, take it up with Netanyahu. He said Trump could be off. A few years this way, a few years this way. He said, but Yah ain't never off. Because that eclipse, Moray, he's my brother, but he's from the South, right? He said, but that eclipse, Moray, that's Yah's timing. He set the marker. I said, and when a person tells me something and it's like, it makes everything connect, I just stopped. I said, hey, okay, wait, stop, man. You just said something. What you heathens gonna do with that olive tile that was written across this nation? So Trump was close. A few years off one way or another, but Yah ain't off. He told you that judgment was coming with the olive tile. And now you seeing it. And you can't stop it. You tried. And that's small. What if he decides to whip that up everywhere at the same time? If he does decide, you can't stop him. And here's the thing. It's all based on how you treated us, and you still won't repent. You still won't bow down to him. You still won't keep the Torah. You still won't give us reparation. You still won't acknowledge who we are and whose we are. I said, you know what, y'all? I'm starting to have less and less feelings of compassion for this heathen. How many chances you gonna give him? Let's read verse 10 since I brought you here. But the day of Yahuwah will come. How? As a thief in the night. He'll catch you. I heard one of my brothers say this. He said, he gonna catch you while you yawning. What's gonna happen? The heavens shall pass away with a great noise. The elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Administrators, I was gonna let this slide, but I decided just now to put it back in the lesson. I was gonna let it slide, but I think I'm gonna put it back in. So administrators, you got to get ready. I got about 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not gonna make commentary on all these verses, but I think I should put them in. Let's go back to that. But day of Yahuwah will come as a thief in the night. So he's telling you, remember what the prophet said. So then we read, but the day of Yahuwah will come as a thief in the night, which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth and all the works that are therein shall be burned up. Let's see whether or not Kepha is just talking. Okay? Let's start with Joel. Let's start with Joel, because everybody knows the book, or should know the book of Joel. I want Joel 2. Joel 2 verse, where I want to go with that. I think Joel 2:2. Joel chapter 2, verse 2. That's it. We're going to start at verse 1. Blow you the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yah cometh. There's the theme of the first and second book of Kepha, right? The same theme. He didn't make up a theme to talk to the people about. He's quoting the prophet. What's the theme? Let all inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahuwah come, for it is nigh at hand. What kind of day is it? A day of darkness and of gloominess. A day of clouds and thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and strong, there hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, behind them a flame burneth. No more, that's not in the Bible. Yes, it is. The land is as a garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, nothing shall escape. Joel 2:32. This is the one we know. And it shall come to pass. The reason why I marked that, I know I want it now. I want to go up higher. We always read this verse, but we don't connect it to the judgment. When we get to Joel 2, beginning at 28, and it shall come to pass, after that I'll pour out my ruach upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. This is a prophecy fulfilled about Torah, not no damn Christian church. Not no law been done away with, and not some voodoo and hoodoo that they doing. I don't know what they doing in these whorehouses today. And upon the servants and handmaids in those days, I'll pour out my ruach. That's Torah. And I will show wonders in the heavens, and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. This is judgment. This is the day of Yah. This is the real day of Yah. Not the one y'all keep painting of some white, androgynous, white Caesar Borgia Jesus holding hands with all the pagan deities of the world, looking gay or sorry or soft, tiptoeing through made-up tulips. That's what you think the end is going to be? You really think that's how it's going to end? Boy, you don't have no idea what's actually in your own Bible. Let's read it again. Shall wonders in the heaven, the earth, blood and fire, pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of Yah come. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of Yahuwah shall be saved. And that's a shame, because I ain't seen not one heathen turn and call on Yah yet. They call on white Jesus, Caesar Borgia images, white supremacy. They're not turning to the Elohim of our forefathers. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as Yahuwah has said, and in the remnant. Oh yeah, you're going to learn that this book is one book in a minute. I'm going to keep preaching it till he called me on home. But y'all going to realize one day, I ain't lying when I told you I discovered the remnant. I discovered the remnant and I found out who they were. I found out all of the things about it, and I saw the whole picture, and immediately I began to tell the world. This is people talking about. Talking about the remnant. And trying to encourage them that the prophets their word don't fail. So the judgment is coming, but so is the salvation for the remnant. It's also coming at the same time, which we see it literally happening in our lifetime right now. This is a little out of chronologically speaking. I'm going in a book now. Go back to Isaiah. Let's see if the Morehyosh is making this up. I could do this all day with Isaiah for sure. When we go to Isaiah chapter 13, the burden of Babylon. What? Oh yes, Babylon coming down. You didn't know that? Babylon's falling. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift up your banner on a high mountain, exalt the voice of them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I've also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even to them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of the nations gathered together. Yahuwah of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. What? Oh yeah, Yah's doing it. Why is he doing that, Moreh? They come from a far country, from the end of heaven. Even Yahuwah and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. How ye, for that day of Yahuwah is at hand. There it is. There that day is again. It shall come as destruction from who? The Almighty. And look, you ain't gonna be able to stop it. Why? Because all hands will be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. And they shall be afraid. Pains and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman travaileth. They shall be ashamed at one another. Their faces shall be as flame. Why? Behold, the day of Yahuwah cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. Kepha said, don't forget what the prophet said about the day of Yah. Don't forget. Everything that he says, all that the prophets have said, is coming true. Jeremiah 46 and 10. Jeremiah 46 and 10, let's get it. These administrators gonna want to rage after today. Moreh, you worked our fingers to the bone. Yes, I did. Listen to it again. For this is the day of Yahuwah of hosts, a day of vengeance. that he may avenge him of his adversaries. Who's his adversaries? Those that enslaved us. And the sword shall devour, and it shall be satiate and made drunk with their blood. Wait a minute. That sounds like the same sword that he's swinging in the Revelation. When he say that the blood is going to rise up to the horse's bridle. Boy, that sword is a thirsty sword. Yeah, you don't know nothing about our king. He's not coming back to play hopscotch. He's not coming back here to play tiddlywinks. He ain't coming back here to do that. He's coming back here to save his remnant and kill everybody else. And the way he's going to do it is so, I don't even have a word for it because y'all not going to understand the word. The way he's going to do it is so funky. I don't have another word for it. It's like orchestrated. It's like he set it up perfect. And then he begins to execute it in such a way that you know it's only him. So you don't give a credit to some foreigner hiding in the bushes. You ain't going to give a credit to nobody that's got like a backroom deal. No. When you see what's getting ready to be done, everybody's going to be talking about apocalyptic. Which means what? YAH's doing it. For Yahuwah Elohim of hosts hath a sacrifice in the north country by the river of Euphrates. Go up to Gilgal, take the Bible virgin out to Egypt. I ain't got time to keep going through that, but he shows that these great and mighty nations that think they all of that, he said, because we're powerless against our enemies, don't forget that. He said, I'll get them. Y'all be faithful to me, and I'll take care of the rest. Where you going now, Moray? Ezekiel. Ezekiel 30. Oh, there we go. I don't know why this is not highlighted already in my Bible. Ezekiel 30, beginning at verse 1. The word of Yahuwah came to me again, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, how ye, woe, work the day, for the day is near. Even the day of Yahuwah is near. What kind of day? A cloudy day. It shall be the time of the heathen. What time? When Yah punishes those who held us in captivity, that's when. Whew. If you read it, you'll see that the Moray is in line. For the sword shall come upon Egypt, great pains shall be in Ethiopia, when the slain shall fall by Egypt, and he goes on. And all that's symbolic because we already had left Egypt. So what is it about? It's about this Egypt that Moses talked about, that we would go back into captivity in Egypt again with ships. That's this Egypt that we in now. Man, Moray, it sounds like that is all through the Bible. Yeah, your preacher don't know none of this. Now he know now because I'm putting it out there. But he's not going to preach it like I'm preaching it because he'll get kicked out of his church. Like it's his anyway. He going to lose his anniversary. He ain't going to be able to get them double buster suits. Woo-wee. I'm so glad I'm not a hireling. I don't know what to do. Woe! Here we go. Amos chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahuwah. You know, that's that same mocking crowd, right? Who keeps saying, man, I just be glad when he just come back. I be glad when he just come back. You hear the Christians say that sometimes. You know, I be glad when he come back. No, you won't. You got pork chops and gumbo on your breath. Worshiping Sunday morning, rebuking the Shabbat, don't keep no feast days, but keeping all the pagan holidays. Done said the law been done away with. You done exchanged Hamashiach with white Caesar Borgia images. Boy, you teaching things you ought not. Talking about you can't wait for white Jesus to come back. Boy, you going to, this who you don't want to see here. This is you. You in the Bible too. Well, unto him that desire the day of Yahuwah. To what is it for you? The day of Yahuwah is darkness for you, not light. Well, Maury, can you go deeper? I'll just read what Amos said. I don't need to go deeper. Amos went pretty deep on this. He said, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him. That's how bad it's going to be. Or went in the house. So he flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went in the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. In other words, Negro, you out of here. Period. I can't wait for the day. Man, you ain't got a chance. If you don't die in the field, you're going to die in the yard. If you don't die in the yard, you're going to die in the house. Either way it go, you out. Talking about the day of Yah. You don't follow him. You don't keep his commandments. You don't walk according to his ways. You don't even believe that the Torah is in effect. And Kepha told you, don't you forget what's written in that book. Don't you forget what the prophets say. And then what'd you do? You forgot what the prophet said. More, any more? Yes. I told you I just made a decision to do this just now. In Zephaniah, oh, it's too much in Zephaniah. It's too much. Yeah, it's too much. I can start at Zephaniah 1, verse 15. The day is a day of wrath. The day is a day of wrath. What about that you don't understand? What's he so upset about? You enslaved us. Just think about what you did to us, and think about somebody doing that to either your wife, a beloved wife, and your children. And then you're going to ask Yah why he's so upset. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble, a day of distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Chapter 2, verse 3. Seek ye Yahuwah, all you meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness. Seek meekness. Why? It may, that means possibility, be well. It may be you shall be hid in the day of Yahuwah's anger. He ain't playing. Once the heathen's day started, which I'm starting to really believe that olive table was the sign. I think Netanyahu was on to something when it came to that right there. That you... So when Kepha says the day of Yahuwah in chapter 3, 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10, But the day of Yahuwah will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. The elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. All of what he said, we just read it in about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different prophets. And I could have gone more. If you clearly understood that, put a 900,000 in the chat. If you clearly understood that Kepha brought out prophets who all said the exact same thing about the exact same day, which don't mean one day, it means a time. He just told you that one day is 1,000 years, 1,000 years is one day. He's talking about a time that's called the day of Yah. Put up 900,000. And this is what I want to leave with you, Zion. I want to leave with you today, verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved. In other words, now that you see, based on scripture, that this ultimate day of recompense, this day of judgment, this day of saving his remnant and killing their enemies, now that you see it, what manner of person ought you to be? How should you now be living? And he uses the word in all holy conversation, which really that word is lifestyle, is life. The Greeks, they didn't do this. They didn't do this word. They didn't do this properly. Neither did the English. The idea is, what kind of life should you live knowing all these things? Knowing that you're going to be rescued, that your king is coming, knowing that your enemy is going to be destroyed, and knowing that there are certain blessings tied in to the remnant, right? And we've seen all that in this lesson. Knowing that the destruction of the enemy cannot be stopped. And you can literally see that the time is running out. He said, what manner of persons ought you to be? In 2 things, godliness or conversation and godliness, which really is not God. I told you we don't use that word anymore. So the word really means that you are like Yah. That's what it means. That this is the time that we be more like him. And the question is, how do we be more like him? It's not really that hard. You keep his commandments and you walk according to the covenant. And then keep us saying what Luke said and what Matthew said. What, more? Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yah. Stop. Did he say look? Yeah, just like the more be telling you. Keep looking. It's coming. Keep looking. That day. Your king is going to return. Don't forget that. Keep looking up. But everything going on in the world, I know that's your focus. But what I'm trying to get you to do is lift up your eyes, though. Lift up your eyes to see above it. Because based on the Bible, it said looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahuwah, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise. Oh! I said according, wait, that ain't in the Bible. That cannot, is this in the Bible? Nevertheless. Oh, wait. Nevertheless, everybody? No. Us. Nevertheless, we. According to his promises. To who? To us. What do we do? Why, when, oh man, we look for, we look for new heavens. Yes, and we look for a new earth. And what to make it new? Yeah. Is that the wicked? Why they'll cease from troubling. And what make it new for us is that the weary will be at rest. And what make it new for us is that all of the saints of the ages, that's us, that's our people, all of the saints of the ages. What you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna sit at his feet and be blessed. That's why I don't mind a few lies told on me. And I don't mind being viewed and scorned. I don't. Why? Because every time, I say every time, I gotta go, y'all. Put a 1 million. Why? If you know that this trouble ain't gonna last always, put a 1 million. Put a 1 million. If you know our King is returning for his bride, put a 1 million. And if you know that all of the wicked are gonna be destroyed, put a 1 million. And I gotta go. I'm done. But if you know, I read it. If you know that one of these old days might be in the morning, might be in the evening, but one of these days our King is gonna roll the heavens up like a scroll. If you know that we're gonna look through the sky and see him on his own white horse, and the heavenly host be riding with him. I'm done. Ah, if you can see him, put 1 million. What's he coming to do? He coming to get his bride. And he coming to kill those who held her in captivity, who took advantage of her, robbed and spoiled. If you can see your king, that's all I'm trying to say. If you can see your king coming, why in the clouds, put 1 million. Got to go. Y'all stay with me all this time. We singing and shouting and giving praise. Total. You be strong, Zion. What manner of person should we be? Righteous. This ain't no time for breaking toy. Keep it. This ain't no time for giving up. No, hang in there. No, what manner of man should we be? The people that he called us to be. Light of the world, salt of the earth. I just want to hear him say it. I'm going to work a little harder. Why, more, right? You know, I want him to say, good and faithful servant. Now, you know he ain't finna call me no doctor, Yoshiyahu. That ain't finna happen. Master's degree, bachelor's degree, he don't care about none of that. He not gonna call me that. He don't call me more. No, if I could just have the honor of being called by him, servant. It represents that I belong to him. It represents that I work for him. It represents that I must have done at least one good thing. He said, man, you faithful of a little thing, man, come on in. What? Yeah, come on in, man. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. And they talked about you. But come on. They going to hell. Come on, you coming in. You tried to help them. You tried to show them. I told you some things. I was kind of shocked that you had the nerve to tell it anyway. Man, look at you. Come on in here, man. I tried to get other folks to do this. I tried to get other people to be the light. Boy, they was too caught up in Stacey Adams and double-breasted suits. They was caught up in Diddy parties. They was caught up in all kind of wickedness and foolishness. And when I told you to do it, boy, I could almost hear the angels betting against you, man. Well, everybody was talking about, are you sure? Man, get on in here, man. Come on down, man. You got a seat right there. There's a seat in the kingdom right there. You're going to go down there, you'll see your name. And before you go, there's a room. And it's a closet room. So take off that stuff that you have, man. Just throw that in the trash. I got a robe for you. Your name is on it. Put that robe on. And then right around there, you'll see a place. It's a place for shoes. So up here, we walk on gold. So you got shoes. Matter of fact, you'll see everybody got shoes. Put them shoes on. That's for your gold. That's for gold walking shoes. Make sure you have them on. They special shoes. You can feel the gold and all that. And you'll see. Just put them on. You got gold. And then going to the table. There's a plate, a banquet table. Yes, it's in honor of me, the king. And you know, I just happy that you made it in, man. Sit down at that table. Oh, and by the way, was your journey long? Yeah, well, yeah. I was traveling through hills and mountains. He said, and you did, really? Through valleys, yeah, through deserts, rich and poor, happy and sad. He said, boy, I know you must be thirsty. I am a little parched. Okay, well then before you go to the table, it's a fountain. It's a crystal fountain. Drink as much as you want. Quench your thirst. What about this tree? You didn't know about my tree? I mean, I heard about it, I read about it. This is it right here. Yeah, don't try it. What? Just pick a leaf. Any leaf? Yeah. Now just touch anywhere on your body. What was that? The leaves are good for the healing of the whole nation. Ain't no sickness up here. Oh my goodness. He said, oh, that's not all, man. Stay here for a second. Stay here. Before you go in the room, just stay right here. Look at the tree. What about it? You don't see nothing strange about it? It's 12 different kind of fruits on this one tree. What? Oh, I'm staying. Oh, this is it. This paradise. Oh, yes. 12 manner of fruit. Same tree. I added a few things I wanted to show you. You're going to have a seat. I've been reading about that so long. What gate am I going in? He said, well, I know you was in the diaspora. You got scattered. But here, you got a choice. You go in the gate, Benjamin, Levi, or Judah. Which one you want to go in? Because you really, you know. Wait a minute, did you say I could go in the Judah gate? That's the gate I want. Oh, yeah, you got some Judah. Let me see, let me check the record. Oh, yeah, here's your bloodline. Yeah, you can go right through there. That's right there. You see all the other ones going in there, going there? I'm going through the Judah gate. But I don't care what the gate is. I go through Zebulon. I go through Naphtali. It don't matter. I do know one thing. I'm going through one of them gates. Yeah, you know I'm done. I've been done preaching. I've been done teaching. I'm just thinking about the fact. I'm trying to encourage you. What manner of man are we to be, seeing all these things? Righteous. Holy. Got to go. Support the work of the ARK. We've already mentioned that earlier in the video. If you're just coming in, full-time ministry, we survive on tithes and offerings. Just like the Bible says we should. We trust in you. We're praying for you. We ask you to pray for us. And until next time, oh, by the way, let me thank my administrators one more time and all you that hang in the chat so long. And until next time, keep looking up for our redemption. Woo, it ain't gonna be long, y'all. It draws nigh. And just understand something. What we are entering into now is the day of Yahuwah. Shalom.